Hey there, YouTubers. Yep, this is like a minute past my last video. I was going to kind of merge them together, but then I said, well, tires and stuck stuff. Well, they're both carnage. Been having one of those weeks. This has been a pretty bad week. I've dislocated my shoulder. I slipped on the ice. Dislocated my shoulder. So, you know, this is like as high as I can lift my arm. But, hey, I'm still alive. Anyway, making it hard to work, but I'm getting it done. My computer broke, so you probably won't see this video for at least a week or so. Well, if you're watching it now, then it's actually you're watching it now, so it wouldn't be a week or so for you. It's a week or so for me. Yeah, But, yeah. There's not going to be like a video for a week, week and a half, or maybe 2 weeks because I don't have a computer. It just, I don't know, it started blue screening. I don't know what that means. Blue screen with a sad face. And you can reboot it. It'll run for, 20 minutes, half an hour, but that ain't enough to edit a video and or download. It takes a long time to download. So, unfortunately, I can't bring you a video until now because I've got a new computer now. I ordered a new one, and I'm going to fix the old one. That way I got a backup, so this won't happen again. I always figured it'd be the camera. Knock on wood. Don't let that happen. Please. Because if the camera goes down, I got to order another one of them. I did promise you guys, and you girls, all you viewers, I did promise you that I would buy a new camera, one that the sound actually works real good and that is a little bit more durable. I can bring out in the rain and blah, 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 blah. I guess like a GoPro. So I'm probably going to buy a GoPro with my first paycheck from YouTube if I ever get there. But you can help by subscribing. But nonetheless, let's get to the video because, I talk too much. This is what we're working on. This is a fan motor for a 67, 68, or 69 Barracuda, A-body. Basically, any A-body Mopar. There could be a Dodge Dart, could be a Plymouth Valiant, any A-body, Dusters, any of those. Okay, this one actually is out of a Barracuda, which would also be a Valiant. Or not? Well, no. Well, actually, Barracuda's by itself in 67, 8, and 9. But any A-body would be the same. But anyway, this one's got a metal squirrel cage. A lot of them have plastic. Now, what I'm about to show you will work. Hopefully, if it works the way I want it to, so it probably won't work. But if it works the way I want it to, this will work for plastic too. What I'm getting ready to do. You can't use anything with heat, and I would like to just get a plunge grinder or a plunge. What do they call those? Cutoff saw. Just go, meow, and it might work with this one because of its metal. Okay, but you can't get it too hot. I'm going to try a saw, but if it's a hardened shaft, that ain't going to work so good, but I don't know that it is. In fact, I can test that here in a minute. If it's not a hardened shaft, I can cut through it with a saw. If it is, then we'll have to use a cutoff saw, but we'll have to use fluid to keep it cool. We'll have to keep pouring water on it while we're cutting. But that's where we're at. And why am I cutting? And I'm going to show you that. Here's the last one I tried. Okay? This is supposed to be part of the fan. It's how the fan holds itself on. Here's the fan. Dum, 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 dum. See what happened? No bueno. Caca. Junk. Right? And this was because I decided I was just going to heat. This is very, very thin tin. Might even be aluminum. I don't know. It might be aluminum. I don't know. But anyway, I tried to heat it up with a torch. Just gently, just heating up the center of it, and it melted this instead. I don't know if it's probably soldered in. I don't know if it's press fit or soldered in. I'm not really sure how they put these together. But this is what happened. Now, if this was plastic, it would have been mucho pieces, right? Lots of pieces. So we don't want this to happen again. I need this, okay? 9 out of 10 times, if you're replacing the motor, we need to keep these, right? We need this. But we don't need the motor, right? I don't think anybody's making cores or keeping cores for them and stuff. So, this is the thing that's sacrificable, or this is expendable, right? We're getting rid of it anyway. Okay, we need this plate, and we need the squirrel cage. So, what my plan is I'm going to go ahead and chuck it up in this vise, and I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, or more different ways to remove this without causing this. Okay? because I don't have any more of these. Well, I do, but I got to go take them out of the cars, and it's, you know, it's a bit of a chore getting these, you know, heater cores out of a car. And, you know, I like to sell the whole motor as a unit, especially if they're good, but this one's tight. It's not moving. That other one I actually ruined a good. It was turnable. It's not anymore after I heated it up. But anyway, so we're going to try. This whole video basically is going to be trying to get this off of this. Now there is an Allen wrench, an Allen screw here. Okay. And you just basically, here, I'll point. You don't need to look at my face. We're going to look at what I'm doing here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and chuck it up in my vise, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. Now, here's the set screw from that other one that I butchered. So we're going to make believe that never happened. But I am going to save that set screw because, you know, I may need one someday. All right, in through here, if you play your cards right and put the wrench in right, you can squeeze it in between these fins, like so. Make sure that bad boy is in there firmly. It's not a bad idea to squirt it with some penetrating oil. In fact, that's a great idea. Unless you're going to use a torch, but don't use a torch because, you know, you see what will happen. So I'm going to put some of this in here. All right. And then we're just going to get a pair of pliers so we can use the short end here, and we're just going to break it loose. There we go. It broke loose nice and easy. You'd think it would just come right off nice and easy. I'm going to take it right out because that way I can turn it and actually get some penetrating oil inside of where that set screw goes. And you don't want to lose the set screw. No, don't go anywhere. I've got a spare. All right. All right, put this on. Yeah, that too. All right, now, this one's really tight. All right, I'm going to do that so I can get some of this penetrating oil down inside there. Which, if I end up resorting to what I think I'm going to have to do, I'm assuming this one is going to be just like the other one. But just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to see if this one will push off. It's probably not going to, but you have to make sure. Yeah, see, it's not going to. This is like a lock collar, and this one is so rusty, you'd have to get in there and try to clean that up. So I'm going to just go, because this is expendable, because the motor's dead, we are just going to try to cut the shaft. Cut the shaft, man, or giving me the shaft. Oh, man. I'm going to hope that my saw is going to cut through this. It may or may not. But we're going to try. If it does, then life is easy. Oh, with the shoulder, this is not going to be fun. All right. Let's see. Ready? That's what I'm talking about, Alfred. All right, it's not a hardened shaft. So here we are. I cut that out of there. That gives me lots more working room. All right. So I'm going to clean that up, and I'm probably going to drive it out this way. Now I've got a very small socket. I've actually got it on an extension because it's a junk socket. It's an 11/32. Basically, the reason I picked a smaller socket is because it fits just about on the center and doesn't have much slop. So that way, when I'm hitting, I know I'm hitting pretty square. And now I'm going to use I wonder if I should use a punch so it won't drift as much. That might be a good idea. I think we're going to do that. Now I'm using a very small hammer. And I'm using a punch with a point on it so that it'll put a little divot in the... Ooh, that's going to be... Yeehaw! That's what I'm talking about, Sally. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. No damage to the fan whatsoever. No damage to the sockets, even though okay, well, that's gone forever, but that's okay, I don't need that. And there's going to be people who are going to write me and say, you're a hack! You ruined a perfectly good restorable fan. Well, let's put it this way. The fans, not the fan, not the squirrel cage, but the actual fan motor is being reproduced. That being said, these are not. So, this or this, right? It's going to depend on where you're at. And this will even work, because that doesn't get very hot if you can use a saw. And it's not a hardened shaft, so hey, I figured that out for you. So you could use a hacksaw, right? You don't have to have a portaband, right? That just makes life easy, but they're not cheap. And I think I've seen portabands like at Harbor Freight for not too much money, and they're even the ones that have battery powered, and that would do the job, right? But a hacksaw will go through this as well. So if you got this bugger stuck on there, and you can't get it off, and you got to replace the motor because the motor's dead, and you don't have to rebuild. Now, if you're doing a really rare car and you can't find the motor anywhere, well, I'll show you one thing real quick. This is my way of thinking on this. If you need a new motor anyway, this has, what did I do with the other one? Well, I'll just grab this one. Oh, they're both here. This one has a plate. Okay, see this plate? All right. This plate right here comes loose. I thought I took this one loose, but I must have boogered up the... Yeah, I boogered up the pin, so... Anyway, we'll bend it back and get it off of there. Come off of there. There we go. Okay, so this is actually the motor. But this has a plate. So, if you had to buy... And I know, this is a Mopar part, so you Mopar guys are going to hate that I say this. You can buy a Chevy fan motor and mount it to this plate. It's 2 screws. I mean, this is what mounts it to the car, and there's 2 screw holes here. If you got 4 screw holes, or 3, or drill a new hole, right? How hard can that be? So this makes it possible that your fan motor will fit on anything. And you just need to make sure you got to save this bad boy. This is the thing right here, right? This is it. So, and it's quarter-inch shaft. Almost every fan, squirrel cage, fan motor for a car in the universe, at least up until 80, which is where my whole knowledge stops, same size. They're all quarter-inch, every one of them. I think most of them anyway. So you can buy a motor as long as it front mounts like that. Most of them have some kind of way of mounting, right? Make it happen. So you got to save this bad boy. That's why I decided to show you this. You can pry them off. The plastic ones will sometimes pry. You can't heat them up though, but the plastic ones break. That's the problem with the plastic ones. So if you got a metal one, you want to save it, but this will work for plastic too. You cut that shaft off, you drive it out with a pin, because, and I'll show you what I do with my setup. Oh, here it is. See, what I did is this hole and this hole are about the same size, just slightly bigger. So this fits over the shaft nicey nice, and so you're actually hitting on this little piece here. You're actually hitting on the lock ring, because you're got it this way, right? So it's hitting on the lock ring, not hitting on the actual squirrel cage, because this is very, very flimsy. The metal one's not a whole lot better than the plastic one, to be honest. It just doesn't deteriorate as well. And I don't know if it's stainless or aluminum. I don't know what this is. Anybody know? Just write it in the comments. But I had to save the fan. I've got a customer that needed a fan. I shipped him one with the motor together, a good working one, and it got damaged in shipping. So when I pulled this one out, I went, whoa, it's metal, yay. Well, actually, it was this one. And I said, whoa, it's metal. It's metal. Right? So it didn't work out as well as I had planned. So I had to go digging up a whole nother one, took apart a whole nother heater system so I could replace the broken parts. But got to take care of people, right? You don't want to be ripping people off by any means. It's not his fault that the shipping people treated it like, incompetence. Let's just put it that way. Anyhow, that's the end of the video. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out. I was worried. I thought it wasn't going to be... I thought it was going to be a hardened shaft. But then, something plastic or this little... Because I think the plastic ones are held in by like a little clip or something. And so, it would be kind of silly to put a hardened shaft for something that That's lightweight and flimsy. So, and they didn't. So that's awesome. And it cut like butter, right? Butter. And I can't tell you any other way. As long as you don't need to rebuild the motor, then you're good to go. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you, because I have broken many a fan trying to get this off, and as many years as I've been doing this, I still butchered this one. I thought a little heat was going to be the bomb, right? No. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If this helped you out at all, definitely please subscribe, because if it helps you, you help me. That works out great, right? Tell your friends if you like these videos, and let's keep plugging along. Hopefully we have many years together learning how to fix stuff. Well, old cars anyway. Thanks for watching.